Hey everyone, hope you're doing right. Welcome to another Diablo 2 Resurrected build guide video. This time it's the Railgun Necromancer, also known as BoneSpear Mancer or Bonemancer. The build name giving ability is this here. Boom, deals magic damage and literally looks like a railgun. Is buffed in Resurrected, not only now, since the latest patch, this Warlock patch, where you have more items like a sling ring, which has magic pierce. More about that in a second. But no, the reason why I leveled one here in Resurrected is, if you look at the synergies, it says 8%. And in old LOD, it was only 7%. Doesn't sound like much, but if you think about it, that's 4 abilities we are maxing, and it results in a lot of damage. So right now I have like a 6.5k BoneSpear and a also it's like almost 6.5k Bone Spirit, which I'm using less. It's more about the BoneSpear. But on players 8, to be honest, let's say players 8 Mephisto or something like this, I feel like Bone Spirit is a little bit better than BoneSpear. But, and I can show you the build here in action, I sacrificed a tiny bit of DPS for utility. Because I need like 3 more level right now. So my build would be done and maxed out on damage with exactly level 96. But I have Decrepify and I have this Golem for the slow. It's a little tech. Not necessary, but just my twist to this build. Let's speed this up here a little bit. That was a nice density. Yeah, the ultimate goal is, I mean, generally speaking, since this is magic damage, first of all, it's a very good season starter build. And it would work perfectly fine without Enigma, not the right breakpoints. But the goal is to have 125 cast rate, which is the last breakpoint in Necromancer's human form. And then scaling BoneSpear to the moon with plus skills. So that makes it expensive. If we want the damage and the cast rate, that makes it expensive and require rare items and crafted items. Man, he got sniped. He just got sniped. Yeah, it's just this constant beam of damage. I think that's crazy. I'm not breaking any records here. It's not the fastest Chaos Run ever. I know. So let's try the slow tech against Diablo. And maybe swap to Bone Spirit for the boss. Here, that's the Decrepify and the Golem. You see how slow he is? I mean, you could equip their items for the mercenary, like a Kelpie Snare. And it's absolutely... Oh, wait. Like, he can do nothing. Okay, double essence drop. So I like this tech, but I also wasted points, basically. So if I would not have these 3 points, I would be maxed out on damage now. On the other hand, I have a little bit of incentive to level this further. Because most of the builds in D2, most of the builds are done in terms of skill tree wise, like around levels 80, 85, 90, something like this. But this, however, requires a very high level, which makes it fun in my opinion. So it's not just some stats that you get, where you actually can scale and scale and scale this damage. Another note on this Bone Spirit, which I'm never ever using, but you could do the following. You can stack them. You could stack them up like this. For example, in like a PvP. I never do PvP in D2. But I think that's what people are doing, and it nukes. It absolutely nukes. And it seeks enemies. It's like a heat-seeking missile. It's like a cruise missile right there. From like a Reaper drone. Lol. Yeah, it's fun. I love this. And it looks insane in new graphics. It's fun farming. It's very... Since I have this sling ring, I don't need the TP scrolls anymore. yeah, maybe let's talk about the items for a brief second here. So as I said, the goal would be 125 cast rate and plus skills, plus skills, plus skills, plus skills. But it makes it expensive, especially with Enigma. So before that, I would use a Viper, and Viper has 30 cast rate, very easy. Even in budget gear, I think I can link a video like this in the description, but even in budget gear, it's easy to reach 125 then. But the moment we equip Enigma, while yes, this is the best armor in the game, and now God mode unlocked, we can teleport. This has no cast rate, so we need the cast rate from somewhere else. And yeah, you could use a Hodo, which has more cast rate. You could use a Spirit, which has more cast rate. But again, I want the cast rate plus the most damage possible for the spear. And the best way to get it is with rare items and crafted items. So I have this circlet here, 2 to necro skills, 20 cast rate, all res 34 from this rune. Crazy expensive, and that's not even a good circlet. Like, I'm not sitting here, look at my helm, oh my god. It's decent helm, but pretty much basic. I paid a Zur and a Paladin torch for this, which is insanely expensive. I paid another Zur or low rune for this crafted amulet. Long time ago, but after like a reset, when they changed the synergy from 7 to 8%, I immediately leveled 1 because I loved this build already as a season starter and in LOD. The best in slot weapon, believe it or not, is just this white twig. I think that's hilarious. It's a +8 to BoneSpear. For these type of runes, the base can be shopped in normal mode with a level 17 or higher character. And yeah, it's the season start weapon, and it carries you all the way to endgame. It's insane. I have a Dark Force spawn here. That's the most amount of plus skills. It's a 3 to poison and bone. No, my bad. The best would be actually a Splendor in a 3 to... Can you get a 3 to BoneSpear base and put a Splendor in there? That would be a +4 to BoneSpear then. This is only a +3, but yeah, it gets crazy, right? But yeah, the incentive is the cast rate scaling up. And that's the combination of items I have. I don't have I Cannot Be Frozen in the build, because why? It's not a melee and I have teleport. If I get frozen, it has no effect of my gameplay whatsoever. Drag Ul Claws here. Sometimes I use Mage Fist, but I like the res. It's a little bit iffy to cap on the resistances, and I also like the range for a +2 to curses, because I only have 1 point in amp and 1 point in decrep. And that's kind of neat. I have a SOJ here for all skills and mana regen. Everything plus skill, cast rate, plus skill, cast rate. I have this new ring to get rid of the bug. I think it's insane, and yeah, they melts foes even better. With the Pierce, of course. I found some rare boots which are insane. Exactly the resistances I want. Could be a higher roll though. Would be also insane if instead of 9 dexterity it would be a triple res 30 run walk boots, but I think they are rare and expensive. Already showed you the weapon. Maybe for the people who don't know. I never played this build. So you have this NPC in Act 2 here, right? This needs to be normal mode. And you would re-roll the map until the entrance is next to him, and then you can reset the store, and you would check out the twigs, boom, 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 and get one with 3 to BoneSpear, and then make this room word. And that's absolutely insane. Then, other than that, my inventory is all poison and bone grand charms. They are also very cheap when trading. So the thing about this build is, it's one of the best season starters and can be cheap as hell, but at the same time, super expensive in endgame. But that's what it is. It's just, it is what it is. But yeah, Poison and Bones, next to no one is playing this. If so, I mean, all the Necro stuff is cheap in my humble opinion when trading. I play online multiplayer exclusively. Yeah, my small charms is just to level the resistances a little bit. If a torch and an any. Also here, if trading, I would look out for or try to get an always 20 roll on these things. It's more important than the stats, in my humble opinion. In offhand, of course, I have a spirit and call to arms. A decent roll here is important, I think, because the build has not many all skills in the build. And therefore, if it's only a want to battle order, it will fall off quickly. It will be hella annoying farming then, if you have to recast this every few seconds. For the mercenary, I'm using a might mercenary with a fortitude on Darius and an insight. Or literally infinite teleport, farming, rushing people, whatever. Build can do pretty much everything. That's what I use this build mainly for. I particularly leveled this just for farming keys. I think it's one of the best key farming builds in the entire game. If someone wouldn't play a whatever self-wielding infinity whatever sort. But yeah, in terms of like the Necro universe, this is probably the best key farm build. But at the end of the day, let's be real here. Like pretty much every Necromancer is a corpse explosion Necromancer. It's more a question about what do you want to use to kill the first monster. I might as well put 20 points in corpse explode, 20 points in amp, have a Giga Juiced mercenary and just telestomp with the merc and then click this. You see what I'm saying? That's what's up. That's just the 2, bro. That's just what it is. Come on, double key drop. A triple key drop is possible, but I don't think that's happening on players 1 a lot. Oh, is that the new sword? Please be the new sword. No, of course not. That's useless. Yeah, this area is a treasure trove, not just for the keys, for everything. Bases, high runes, charms, grand charms, small charms, like my barb stuff, for example. Entire inventory is self-found from the Letharg area. It's scary. It's actually scary. But on the other hand, that's the area I'm farming the most. So, you know what I mean? So how reliable are the drops? Of course you find the drops there, if that's the only area you're farming. Makes sense. But yeah, I'm just saying. Insane area. Nilatak is like a treasure trove. You also have super chests on the way here. I never click them. And, well, is it even a super chest if it's sparkling? Not necessarily, I think. But yeah, I never clicked those chests. I never got anything. I think it's a little bit waste of time. No key drop. Okay. The build is incredibly squishy. Yes, it's players 8 viable. It depends on your skill. If you're a very, very sleepy boomer, then probably don't play this, because it requires you to have reaction time. And if you are a little bit slow, you will get clapped with this build. But it's very, very viable. I did a 24-hour stream once and it was rushing people and only that. So pretty crazy. It can also farm keys, players 8. Corpse explosion is very bad. I mean, it's not useless just because there are more players in the lobby. But if you read the ability, damage 70 to 120% of corpse life. On players 1, that's nuke AF. On players 8, where the monsters are crazy strong and have a lot of HP, what is a 70% pop? That's like nothing. It will not even cut the monster in half on players 8. You see what I'm saying? But it's not that it's completely useless. It's still nukey on players 8. It's still nukey and useful. Especially in areas like like Nilatak here, where they are super stacked together anyways. He doesn't want to drop keys anymore. I see how that goes. But yeah, feel free to let me know what you think about this. Like, I was so dedicated and hyped for this build when they patched this from 7 to 8%, right? So even like the character is literally called Bone Necro. Dun dun dun. And I also think it's insane. It has style points to the moon. Like how fast he's walking with this little shrink head. It's just fun. Things like this add fun playing to the game, right? It doesn't feel like a chore farming the keys and so on with a build like this. Let's talk about the skill tree for a second. So it's a level 52 BoneSpear, which is nuts. And it can be more, I think. If you would get rid of everything, of course, can have 2 more Grand Charms. But maybe a Splendor, if it's possible, I'm not sure. A 3 to BoneSpear Splendor, that's a 4 to BoneSpear then. I could have a blue circlet with 3 to Poison and Bone and Castrate. And a blue amulet with 3 to Poison and Bone and Castrate. I think, I'm not sure, but it would increase this even further. So if you really squeeze it, maybe it's a level 55 BoneSpear, which is just, it's insane. It's absolutely insane. Given the fact that this is magic damage, best damage source in D2. Yeah, maxing BoneSpear plus all the synergies. Done. Done, pretty much. I added some utility in the build. I have this slow tech, like Decrepify plus Clay Golem. That's really, really fun. The only downside I would say is, let's say someone would do this like me and 0 to hero this, right? Because it's a very great, it's an absolute S tier ladder starter just because of this white room world alone already. But it could be boring. You are only using this. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it looks cool. But does it look cool from level 1 to Enigma? That's up to the individual. I love it. I love this railgun ability. I like all the off-meta stuff, the viable off-meta. Or, well, other people would call this off-meta. For me, this is Giga S-tier meta, right? Like I played a Bonemancer always in LOD and all the private servers now here. For me, it's always been the Giga S-tier meta build, but I think some people would consider this off-meta. Which is totally fine. As long as it's viable. So that's the slow. That's the slow from Decrepify and Clay Golem. I hope you can see how effective this slow is. You know what I mean? Very effective slow. Two-handed sword. Please be the new sword. This could be it. This could be it, guys. Oh my god, what a troll. Need to keybind this TP from the ring. No! We need, what's it called? Dreadfang? I think it's called Dreadfang. Look at this thing. Dual Leech for level 12? 9%. That's insane. Not quite what we are looking for. Yeah, now you saw the slow tech as well. Could save those points, as I mentioned, to like have it right away. But it gives me a reason to level up as well and grind more. Would be nice to have like a level 60. Would we have to have like a level 96, 97 Bonemancer one day and have this absolutely maxed out. Also improve the gear further, which this is really top tier endgame stuff, guys, and it's also a hella expensive setup. If I would sum this all up, it's easily like a 30 high rune setup. But it can be improved. There's always something you can. You will never ever be happy with a build, right? You know what I mean? Like there's always something you can improve, even if it's like small charms in order to get the res, well, whatever it is. There's this new thingy that can drop from the Uber Ancients, which gives XP and like a damage boost. I think I would get rid of this rune in the helm and maybe put this new gem in there. Let's call it gem. But yeah, I think it's nuts. I think it's absolutely nuts. One of my favorite builds on my account, and I'm maxed out on character slots. One of the most fun builds I've ever played. I don't like the term much, but one of the most efficient builds I've ever played. I don't know what's more efficient than farming 2,000 Uber keys in one season. Okay, I think that's not too bad. It's not too bad, yeah. And for whatever reason, I have the RNG with this. I can farm keys with every other character I have. I won't find shit. At the moment I'm farming keys with this guy and this build, I did 4 runs for the other video and I got 3 keys. Like, what? That never happens, basically. But yeah, let me know what you think about it. Let me know what you think about this. Feel free to rebuild it and farm your own 2,000 keys. And make a bunch of enigmas like I did. Make a last wish, make all this expensive stuff. It's hella fun. When you have this machine going. It's like literally currency printing ND2. Keys, Ubers, keys, Ubers, keys, Ubers. And with a build like this, like no shit, if I would really sit down and no life it, I could farm up like a 20 torches in 1 week. Well, let's 20 key sets in 1 week. Or 2 weeks. Yeah, no, in 1 week. I could farm, if I really no life it to almost an unhealthy amount of playtime, I could farm up a 20 key sets in 1 week. Then knock out the 20 Ubers in a row on the weekend. List 20 torches on the market. Trade them all away. And then I can build whatever the fuck I want. And that's fun to me in D2. That's rewarding then, if I can make whatever I want. And just test things for fun and so on. Yeah, let me know what you think about this. Feel free to rebuild it. Feel free to rebuild it. Can this do players 8? Terrorist can do everything. Excuse me, this can do everything. A character like this, like, it doesn't get more endgame than this, okay? If you want to down talk this or be a doubter, yeah, I couldn't care less about your opinion. You probably don't even have a Shaco on your character's head. So therefore your opinion doesn't mean too much to me, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's for players 1, this is totally okay. Feels like no amount. Whoa, what is this? The class set? No, it's this one, Banes. Ooh, I have the whole set now. Nice. This and the other 2 thingies are 2 daggers. Yeah, but I'm getting sidetracked. Thank you again for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe and comment. And check out the next video. Later.